From Afghanistan, this is Bob Calvert, your host on TalkingWithHeroes.com. Reporting from a new location, Kalagush, forward operating base, Kalagush. In just a few minutes, Lieutenant Colonel Forsyth is going to describe some of the things we're going to show you on film. We're on a high tower right now. And before we get started, though, as I've mentioned many times, it's very important that we thank the people that made this trip possible. Like I said earlier, it took 10 months to be able to get enough sponsors to make the trip over. And so I want to do that real quick, and then we're going to get started with this next segment. First of all, Rob Brazell with returntowork.org. That's number 2 in the middle, returntowork.org. Rob has helped me get over. He was actually supposed to be here with me, but got real sick from the immunizations, so he'll be going to be on my next trip. Blackhawk.com, incredible last-minute help from them. Blackhawk.com, check out their website. Anthony Pace with freedomhunters.org in Colorado. Alan Gray with newsblaze.com is helping right now with some of the stuff I normally do back there on our news site. Thank you for your service.us. Bill Wisniewski with number 5, jump.com. That's the number 5, and then jump.com does all the filming for Airborne and Fort Benning. Sportsman's Warehouse in Colorado Springs, the manager John Fly, another company that came through at the last minute with some of what we needed, like these water resistant mountain climbing boots. So finally got them broken in, I think. There's sportsmanswarehouse.com. My good friend Eric Chia, for over 30 years, takes care of the website. Long time, many time over sponsor, huge supporter of this talk show, but the troops overall. Colin Clark from Elizabeth, Colorado. You'll be hearing a lot more about him on Talking with Heroes over the months ahead with their new environmental pallet company. They're going to be doing a lot more to support the project and future trips overseas here. Debbie Gregory, militaryconnection.com, an incredible website for all of you in the military, your military families and veterans, and just want to know about things that are going on. Check out her website. And soldiersangels.org, most people have heard of them. Some of the troops have been mentioning them here, getting care packages. They do so much, it's unbelievable. Check out their website, soldiersangels.org. And then Chief Warrant Officer retired Dennis McCormack, retired from Fort Carson. And he helped me a lot with training to kind of prepare me for what I'm experiencing right now, high altitude. And so just go to TalkingWithHeroes.com. On the right side, you'll see a banner. It says Iraq, Afghanistan, Kosovo, and you'll find out more about that. So what we're going to do now is we're going to switch the camera around. I'm trying as much as I can not to be on the camera as much as possible, because this is program, and what we're doing here is not about me. It's about our troops and the great job they're doing. So we're just going to switch the camera and be right back in a second. Okay, folks, I want to reintroduce you to Lieutenant Colonel Michael Forsyth, 277 Commander out of Fort Carson, and he's going to now narrate and explain what you're seeing on film. Take it away, sir.
Okay, welcome to Kalagush, Bob. This was my fire base for 10 months. I still have troops here, and I'm responsible for our area of operation up here in Western Nuristan, and you are standing in Western Nuristan at this time. And what I'll do is just kind of give you an orientation to the surrounding area so that you kind of get an idea of where we've lived for the past several months. First, we'll start up here to the north. This is Nuristan. If anybody's ever seen the movie The Man Who Would Be King, which is supposed to be Kafiristan, which is now Nuristan, this is what you're looking at. Very mountainous terrain, very rugged, and very hardy people live up in here. This is the Teton Ridge right here. And the enemy likes to use that from time to time to fire rockets at us. So we have to keep our heads down from time to time.
Which they just did recently, a couple days ago. Right?
They sure did, that's right.
Okay.
That's right. And then if you look straight up the valley, you can kind of see the way the valley flows. There's a road in the valley floor, and that goes up to the Doab district and Mandal district, where the incredibly high mountains are that start to reach 18,000 feet to the north, which for folks from Colorado, that's 4,000 feet higher than Pikes Peak. So very rugged, very tall mountains, always covered with snow, and you can see there is some snow still up there. Now these mountains you see in the immediate north here only range to about 8,000 to 9,000. The snow will be off of those mountains by summer. But further north, you have permanent glaciers and it's part of our AO up here. Okay, if you work your way around this way, this ridge, yes, this ridge is also a fairly dangerous ridge to us. The enemy likes to use that to attack the immediate vicinity here, surrounding Kalagush. Coming around, and there's a high peak over there beyond the ridge, and that's the Wateroo Valley. The Wateroo Valley is a beautiful valley with some high mountains. Very tribal type people. The tribes here like to get in arguments with each other, and they like to shoot at each other with AK-47s. The only difference between now and the 14th century is they have automatic weapons, or else they'd be using spears and bows and arrows around here.
So are they in like a little valley on the other side of the mountains?
Yes. Between that ridge that you see in the foreground,
okay,
and the high mountain that you see beyond the ridge, there's a valley. Goes all the way up to the north.
Right there.
Yep.
Comes to a little peak.
Yep, that's the Wateroo Valley. And we've been there several times. We've done a lot of work in there as far as projects with a canal, improving the road. They don't have a paved road, but they have an improved gravel road. And then the village that you see out in the distance, that's the village of Nangaresh. That is where the district capital is for Nurgun district, which is the most southern district in western Nuristan. Just a small village. It has a school. In fact, you can see the school. That is the most prominent tan building that you see there. Is the school, and then it drops down, and there's a lot of terracing. That's where all the agriculture is done down there. They grow rice, corn, wheat. They're harvesting the wheat right now. You don't see that right here from the perspective, but it's down the valley, because that valley will drop off about 500 feet, and that they have it all terraced for growing their crops. And you saw some of that flying in.
There's 3 flags. Obviously, I'm on the American flag. What are the other 2 flags?
Well, there's only actually 2. There's 3 flagpoles, but there's 2. The American and the Afghan flag.
And the Afghan flag, okay.
Yes. And that's what you have flying up there right now. And then if you swing on around, you can kind of see the river valley. The Alangar River is a whitewater rapid river. You saw that coming up as well. It kind of levels off and widens out the further south you go down Alangar Valley. And that is the Alangar Valley. That is the main north-south valley from here all the way down to Jalalabad. And we are about 60, I'm sorry, not 60, we're about 100 kilometers from Jalalabad, about 60 miles from Jalalabad now, from where you interviewed me yesterday. The Alangar River Valley is where most of the population in our area lives. The population in the Alangar River Valley is about 80,000 people. Now, in those little villages that you flew over, you wouldn't think there's 80,000 people in those small villages. But you got to consider this: the average family size is 11 people. Mother, father, extended family members like a grandmother, a grandfather, and then the 7 children on average that the Afghan family has. Now, if a guy has multiple wives, and many of the Afghan men here do, you multiply the number of children times 2, and he's going to have up to 14, 15 children in one household.
So all the wives they all live together in the same place. So it's just an accepted,
in fact,
like the Old Testament.
Yeah. Nangaresh Village, which you just filmed, it doesn't look very large over there, but that village has at least 2,000 people in it. That small village that you're looking at.
You're serious?
Yep. Look over there again. You don't see much there.
Are there buildings on the other side of the hill?
There are some buildings down in the low ground, but grand total, there's probably about 75 to 100 dwellings, but there's about 2,000 people that live in that village. Very, very primitive conditions, but they actually get better every day because they can grow their food. They now have a paved road. The road that you see there is the only paved road in all of Nuristan province.
This is the road you were telling us about.
This is the road I was describing. We broke ground on it last July. It was completed in February, That is the only paved road in western Nuristan. Right now it's about 6 kilometers. We're working on the contract to get another 12 kilometers to the north, up towards Doab district, which I just showed you to the north. And that is a huge improvement in Nuristan. And when we were flying up, you saw all the paved roads. 7 years ago, there were no paved roads in this area. Not one paved road. So there's been miles and miles of pavement put down to improve the lives of the people. Because when you improve roads, you can move goods, you can stimulate the economy simply by putting down pavement. And so it's been a huge improvement for the local area.